Hare Krishna. Sushma ji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mithila ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Greetings to all devotees on the advent of the Kartik month.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Very auspicious month. So let's begin a new chapter today.
Yes.
Dear Krishna Prabhu, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bhuvika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna. Shobha ji, Hare Krishna. Okay. So let's begin with our discussions. So today I'll try to complete in by 7:15 because I have to have some other engagement after that. And we'll try to see how much of the best possible to understand. Before beginning, let's offer our prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Ki Jai Shri Shri Nidai Gauranga Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Nidai Gaur Premanande. So welcome everyone for the Friday on Bhagavad Gita. So today we are going to begin with a new chapter on the auspicious occasion of the Damodara Mass or Kartik Mass. So this 10th chapter begins with Lord Krishna speaking in the very first verse. If you remember, previous chapter, 9th chapter, known as the most confidential knowledge, Krishna only spoke, Arjuna never spoke. All right. So like this, there are chapters in Bhagavad Gita wherein Krishna is speaking directly. 9th chapter, 15th chapter, like this. We have even 7th chapter is similarly Krishna only speaks. So this chapter, in one sense, is an extension of 7th, 8th, 9th chapters. This chapter and 11th chapter, speaking about the Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means opulence, opulence of Krishna. So how Krishna's opulences are all pervading. And why Krishna is going to speak about opulences, as slowly the discussions between Krishna and Arjuna unfolds in this chapter. Okay, so let's begin with the verse number 1. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Bhuya eva mahabaho shunu me paramam vachaha yatteham priyamanaya vakshami hitakamyaya. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, Mahabahu means mighty armed Arjuna. Mighty armed means like you are very powerful. You are not ordinary person, you are powerful. And so in that way, Arjuna is being addressed by Krishna that because you are my friend, Priyamanaya, you are very dear to me, you are my friend. I am again speaking to you. What is that? I'm going to speak to you again. Paramam Vachaha. Most supreme information, supreme word I'm going to tell you. And the supreme word, why I'm telling you? Because you are my very dear friend. You are my devotee. And this will give you great joy. Vakshami hitakamyaya. This will give you great joy. And Krishna says, this will benefit you a lot. So, the Lord is known as Bhakta Vatsala. Always he wants to benefit his devotees, especially his confidential devotees, pure devotees like Arjuna. So Prabhupada explains, Lord Bhagavan, Krishna is known as Bhagavan because of his 6 opulences. Right? Prabhupada quotes from the quotation of Vyasa Muni's father, Parashara Muni, who defines who is Bhagavan. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasasya jnana vairagyashchaiva shannam bhaga iti ingana. Right? So there are 6 opulences in full in the personality of Krishna. Full strength, full fame, full wealth, full knowledge, complete beauty, and complete renunciation. The definition of Bhagavan means one who has all these opulences in full. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead is speaking to Arjuna now. So Prabhupada has explained this particular word, Bhagavan, many times in the Bhagavad Gita. The beginning of 2nd chapter also, when Krishna had speaking, Prabhupada explained. So Bhagavan means who has 6 opulences in full. Opulence means Aishwarya, Bhaga or Vibhuti. So Krishna is going to explain more opulences about himself in this chapter. So Krishna is that Supreme Personality. That's why everywhere in Bhagavad Gita and scriptures, Krishna is addressed as Bhagavan, to distinguish him from ordinary personalities. Whereas when Arjuna speaks, he is known as Arjuna Uvacha. Krishna speaks, Bhagavan Uvacha. He is not an ordinary person. Just to distinguish Krishna, not an ordinary person, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So this Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to instruct Arjuna in much more confidential knowledge about himself. Right? Last chapter only we understood most confidential knowledge. Most means over, no? That is supreme. But no, now Krishna is telling, I am going to instruct you much more. Right? That is the beauty of Krishna and devotee relationship. Right? So Krishna already explained various aspects about his different ways of working in the material world from 7th chapter onwards. How there is material energy, and we living in it is also is energy. Right? Para prakriti, apara prakriti. And how the whole material world is a combination of the living entities and the material energy. That is when Krishna explained many things. In 9th chapter also Krishna has given many wonderful, inconceivable opulences of his existence. And now Krishna is specifically going to explain, Prabhupada says, specific opulences to Arjuna. Just like when you meet a big man, he may tell something about his richness. I have a bungalow, I have big factory, that's all. But more details about his richness, opulence will be revealed to you when you become close to him. No, I have properties in Dubai, in America, in different countries, I have this business also. So all these are much more opulence of a big man. He'll reveal not that in a first meeting he'll tell you everything. He'll reveal when you become close to him. So Krishna is revealing his opulences to Arjuna because Arjuna is a dear devotee. So very clearly Krishna explained in the previous chapters, why is he speaking all these things? To understand the link. In the 6th chapter, at the end, Krishna said, who is the highest yogi? Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. That personality or that practitioner of yoga is the highest or the topmost person who always keeps Krishna within his heart. Yogina api sarvesham. He is the highest yogi who keeps Krishna within his heart always and who worships Krishna with great transcendental faith. Right? He is most intimately united with Krishna. Madgatena antaratmana. So he is that highest yogi. So to come to that stage of intimate relationship with Krishna as topmost yogi, that person knows Krishna so well, right? So you have become very close to somebody means you know every aspect of the person mostly. That's what Krishna reveals about himself from 7th chapter onwards, right? So basically, Krishna has revealed many aspects of his personality. As Prabhupada explains in the beginning of the 7th chapter, that understanding Krishna means what? Science of God means analysis of the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Prabhupada explained in 7th chapter. Science of God means analyzing the constitutional position of God, who is God and what is various energies. It is Vyakti and Shakti. A person means not simply he is without any Shakti. A person means he has energies. That's the understanding. So the philosophy which Bhagavad Gita is propounding is a personal philosophy. When you say a person means he has his energies, his activities, his various ways of exhibiting his opulences. That's what it means. So basically, Krishna has explained all this until 9th chapter to make Arjuna firmly fixed in devotion, to convince him about devotional aspects. Right? Again, in this chapter, Krishna is telling that he will explain some more confidential aspects. Bhuya means again. Why? Because Krishna wants Arjuna to become more firmly fixed up in devotion. So Prabhupada very nicely explains, the more one hears about Krishna, what happens? The more one becomes fixed in devotional service. That's why it is mentioned. Prabhupada, why he stresses, when you're chanting, you hear. Because more you hear, more you become fixed in devotion. Very important, simple principle in devotional service. More and more about Krishna you hear, more and more you become fixed in devotional service. That's why it is said, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Krishna said in the previous chapter, no? 14th verse, if you see, his pure devotees, Mahatmas are always under Daivi Prakriti. Verse number 13. So they are always doing his devotion. Dasa. So what do? Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Why Krishna is recommending this? Because that is what the pure devotees are. Their mind is absorbed only in his thought, nothing else. So, by constantly remembering about Krishna, what happens? You will enhance your devotion. So, all this can be understood only when it is discussed in the Sadhu Sangha or devotee association. That's why you can say, 9th chapter, after 9th chapter, it's just much more confidential subject matters, which cannot be understood so easily. Right? Devotee association, you can understand these aspects. The subject matters are becoming more and more subtler. They are not gross. Now, Krishna is going to speak much more subtler things, which easily the common man cannot appreciate unless he has come to the level of devotion. So, Prabhupada says, that's why such topics can be discussed in the association of devotees or those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is really anxious. Simply, my life means, living like anybody, any other living entity, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, life will go on. But life means not simply, living like any other entity. Rather, life means to come to the point of perfection of realizing that we are spirit soul and we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are intimately connected with Krishna. This is the purpose of life, right? So here Krishna clearly is telling Arjuna, because he is very dear to him, Priyamanaya. That's why for his benefit, Hitakamyaya, he is trying to tell much more confidential aspects. So in that way, understanding Krishna is unlimited. Right? It is said, Anantadev, Lord's bed, and is serving Krishna in very many ways. He is also glorifying Krishna with his thousands of mouths. But even it is said that he has not even begun in one sense to glorify, because that is the way. Lord is unlimited, his qualities are unlimited. Right? So glorifying Krishna is unlimited, Ananta Leela. But devotees, whatever Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, they'll try to understand that much and try to glorify Krishna. Okay. So in that way, you can see Krishna's love towards Arjuna in this first verse. And he's so pleased with Arjuna, because Krishna already has instructed the most confidential knowledge. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer your worship to me, offer your respects to me, namaskar to me. Right? You will come back to me surely. Now more confidential, because this is going to make you much more fixed up. In the process of bhakti development, the stage called nishtha means firmly, steadily fixed up. Then asakti, attachment. Then ruchi, taste. Like this, there are further steps in the advancement of bhakti. Okay, fine. Next, Krishna says, verse number 2, Name vidus suraganaha prabhavam naha maharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Krishna is telling, Name vidus suraganaha. Suragana means demigods, devatas. Devatas also don't know me. Nor the maharshis, the great sages also don't know me. They don't know about my opulences. Prabhavamna maharshaya. They don't know about my greatness. Neither the hosts of demigods, the great sages, know my opulences, know my origin. Aham adirhi devanam. Actually, I am the origin of all devatas. And I am the source of all the sages also. Let's see. It is more confidential. This Krishna did not reveal in the previous chapters. Right? Now we'll see Krishna is revealing much more higher topics, more confidential topics now. What is he? What is his personality? Krishna was telling about material world mostly in the previous chapters. He referring to devatas, devata puja not required. Right? It is all illegal, Krishna was telling. But here Krishna is telling devatas, great sages are all coming from me. They also don't know about me. So in what sense Krishna is telling they don't know about me? We'll try to understand. Right? Very clearly, Lord Brahma also says that Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the Ishvara Parama. He is the greatest personality. He is Sarva Karana Karana. Brahma explains. So here Krishna is going to build up the topic now. This is going to be further again and again. Now from this verse onwards, Krishna is going to explain how he is the source of everything. He is the origin of everything. In the next few verses, Krishna is going to explain this. The statement in the Vedanta Sutra, Janma Dyasya Yataha. Krishna is the origin or the original source of everything. Right? Krishna has hinted some things. In the material world, things are there. But Krishna says not only material world, beyond, in the material world, many other aspects which you don't know, and much beyond the material world, everything is coming out from me. All the material world, spiritual worlds are emanating from me, Krishna says. So, very clearly, Krishna is telling personally that he is the cause of all the devatas and all the maharshis. Right? So, devatas, who are devatas? Devatas are empowered human beings who have been given responsibilities to manage different affairs in the whole universe. There are 33 crore devatas. Right? They are managing different departmental works. Just like the rain department is managed by Indra and his assistants. There is a department of wind managed by Vayu Devata. The sun is managing, the Devata called sun is managing heat and light for this whole universe. So like this, there are different Devatas mentions are there in the Bhagavad Gita also. So here, the Rishis, about Rishis further Krishna is going to explain later on. There are Sapta Rishis. And there are other great sages who are descendants of these sages. And all these sages also, Krishna says, originally they have come from me only. But here Krishna says one very important thing, that even they cannot know or they cannot understand Krishna. It is something very, surprising. Actually, they are much more elevated personalities, Devatas and sages. Even they also cannot understand Krishna. They cannot understand Krishna means, Prabhupada explains, they cannot know his name, the glories of his name, the glories of his personality, who is he, what is the position of his greatness in this world, right? So Prabhupada says, even they cannot understand what the scholars in this material world can understand. So here basically Krishna is trying to tell us that he is achintya, he is inconceivable. Understanding him, knowing him is not easy, as Krishna explained in the 7th chapter already. Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyadati siddhai yarata api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. So basically Krishna is trying to explain, we cannot understand Krishna by our limited thinking power or speculation, or whatever way we try to understand things in the material world. We try to research, discover. Like that we cannot understand Krishna. So even the Devatas also acknowledge that. Right? Just like we have the Brahma Vimohana Leela. Brahma could understand Krishna's position. That was the Leela pastime. And when Govardhana Leela happened, Indra could not understand Krishna's position. He thought Krishna to be ordinary boy. So this is how Krishna's Leelas are. So Prabhupada says, the Bhagavatam also explains, even great Devatas cannot understand the supreme position of Krishna. They can speculate the limits of their imperfect senses and may reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, right? Or something avyakta, just like Krishna explained in 7th chapter. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam vanyate mama buddhaya. Right? They may come to some other conclusion, opposite conclusion. Krishna is impersonal, or something beyond our limited understanding, some energy, all these things, right? Or some speculation, something, some other light. They may think like that. But Krishna cannot be understood factually. That's the point. So basically, Krishna is trying to hint out to all of us very clearly that to understand about him, in fact, this point of understanding Krishna is again and again repeated in this chapter, next chapter, 11th chapter and 12th chapter. Because understanding Krishna as he is not easy. What is his personality? Because people misunderstand Krishna to be an ordinary person. As Krishna explained in the previous chapter, 11th verse, avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashita. Foolish people try to equate Krishna or bring Krishna to their level and think he is an ordinary human being. Right? So basically Krishna is telling, see, I am standing in front of you like this and I am speaking Bhagavad Gita to you. So you should know Krishna the way Arjuna understood. So Prabhupada says, Arjuna understood Krishna by Krishna's own explanation about himself. So likewise, Krishna's his own words in Bhagavad Gita and the wonderful explanations given in the Srimad Bhagavatam is, as explained by the great acharyas, is the way to understand Krishna. Otherwise, on our own speculation, we cannot understand Krishna. Right? We misunderstand Krishna to be like how people misunderstand Krishna as a historical personality, as an ordinary person, or somebody who is like one of us. It is wrong. So, Krishna is trying to explain all these things to us because ordinarily people misunderstand Krishna. he is very mercifully descended to here. And is displaying his uncommon activities. Prabhupada explains in Krishna book, why did Krishna descend personally? Generally, his other incarnations, his other expansions descend. But Krishna descends every day, once in a day, every time, once in a day of Brahma. Right? Brahma's lifespan, we understood each chapter. Once in a day he comes, means rarely he comes actually, in one sense, at least from our perspective. Even then he comes and displays his wonderful superhuman activities so that all the so-called speculations, all the different misunderstandings about Krishna is closed off. He appears and shows off his uncommon activities. So, Krishna is indirectly hinting, even great devatas or great sages can't understand Krishna. Only devotees can understand Krishna. So, devatas are not devotees. Yes, they are devotees, but they are not pure devotees. They are sakama devotees. Sakama devotees means they have desires. The different levels of devotees. Nishkama devotees means pure devotees. Right? Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udarati. Bhagavata says, there are, whether you have no desires, you have full desires, or you have desire for liberation, worship Krishna only. For all your, whatever you want. Bhagavatam recommends. So here, when you speak about devatas or rishis, they are having some tinges of, some traces of material desires or material inclinations or speculative habits. As Rupa Goswami says, Yavana karma dyanavratam. That's why they are not considered as pure devotees. Only pure devotees who have completely surrendered to Krishna, they can understand Krishna. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Right? For them, any other aspect of Krishna, impersonal Brahman or Paramatma, for them it is all one of the features. But for him, Krishna's feature is what they want to always worship. That's what we'll see in this chapter and next chapter also. So, basically, Krishna can be understood only by devotees. Indirectly, Krishna is hinting in this verse. Great personalities also cannot understand Krishna. They also fail to understand Krishna. Krishna means understanding his name, his form, his leela, his paraphernalia. Nama, Rupa, Leela, Guna, Parikara. This is called understanding Krishna. Okay, so Krishna explained to Arjuna, or telling Arjuna, I'm going to speak to you much more confidential knowledge because you are very dear to me. And why? Because Krishna wanted Arjuna to be more fixed up in devotion. Right? Basically, through Arjuna is trying to make us more fixed up in devotion to Krishna. And he's telling even great sages and great demigods, devatas, they also don't understand me. In fact, I am the origin of all of them. Next verse, Krishna says, Yomam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asam mudha samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. Here Krishna explains, three things if you know, you become free from illusion and you become free from sin. Three things about Krishna's personality. What are they? When you know Krishna is ajam, he is unborn. He is anadim. He is beginningless. Adi means beginning. Anadi means without beginning. And he is sarva loka maheshwaram. He is the Lord of all the worlds. That's all. These three things, if you know, he becomes free from illusion. Then he is free from sarva papai pramuchyate. From all sins, he is free. Just see. Just knowing this much. So, basically, Krishna is trying to indirectly hint us about his true personality. Some aspects, most of these aspects, Krishna has explained in the previous chapters in different ways. But here again, he is trying to bring in the perspective of his transcendental existence in a more systematic manner now. Right? Krishna has explained how is Ajam in the 4th chapter. Right? Ajopi san avyaya atma bhutanam ishvaropi san. 4th chapter, 6th verse, Krishna says. Right? I am unborn, but I appear in my self-same spiritual body. So that is called avatara. When Lord Krishna or his expansions from Vaikuntha, they descend as they are. They are called incarnation, avatara. In our case, we are also called Aja. Right? If you refer in 2nd chapter, verse number, I think 21, if I right. Not 21, no, 20. 20th verse, if you open 2nd chapter, न जायते न म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूया अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराण. Even the living entity is called unborn. Interesting. Right? Living entity also is called unborn. And Supreme Lord also is called unborn. So what is the difference? With regard to living entities, they are subjected to accepting material bodies. So in the context of we living entities, we accept and give up material bodies. And we are changing our bodies. Right? We are also, in one sense, spirit soul is actually eternal. To explain that aspect, Krishna told we are Ajam. We don't have birth, we don't have death. What is happening to us as birth and death is for the body. Krishna explained that. But with Krishna, he doesn't die, is not born, is not dying, and his body also is transcendental. When he comes down, he accepts a transcendental body. That is the difference. One more higher level. So Prabhupada explains. Even when Krishna comes to the material world, he comes as the same unborn. Right? Therefore, Krishna says in the 4th chapter, Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropisan prakritim atma mayaya. Atma maya means by the same antaranga shakti or internal potency I descend. Whereas we are Aja, unborn, but we come under the influence of material energy and it seems that we assume a form, a body, material body. Whereas Krishna never. This is the difference. This is a fine difference. See, it means this knowledge is much more advanced than what we have so far understood. Right? 2nd chapter, Krishna explained living entity as Aja. And in the 4th chapter, Krishna explained himself as Aja. In this chapter, Krishna is explaining he is actually Aja and our position is of Aja is one level. It's like there's a statement in the Upanishads. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bhuna vidhati kama. There is one Nitya, there is one Chetana, there are innumerable Nitya. Nitya means eternal. And Chetana means consciousness, conscious entity. There is one supreme conscious entity, there is one supreme eternal personality, and who is managing and maintaining innumerable eternal entities, innumerable conscious entities. Right? Qualitatively, we are same, but quantitatively, we are different. That's the point. Quality-wise, drop of seawater is same as complete seawater, ocean water. A particle of gold is same as the gold in the golden, what is that? Mine, gold mine. Whereas the quantity of gold in gold mine is huge. Right? Quantity-wise, we're different. So Krishna's quality of Aja is unlimited. He comes also in his spiritual form, and he is not that he changes like our body. So people who think that he is changing means they are mudha, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter. Avajananti ma muda manushim tanamashita. That is the point. It's very important. Aja, the first point, Krishna says. One who knows Krishna as Aja, unborn. This word unborn should be understood very properly, nicely, clearly. Right? And secondly, Krishna says that he is Anadi. What does Anadi mean? Adi means beginning. Everything has begun. Just like somebody says, I started the business like this. I started constructing this house. I know how it was before constructing the house. So he's from the beginning, he's there. Or this company started, I'm there in this company from the beginning. So like this, people say, from the beginning, I'm here. This colony, when it was established, I was there from the beginning. So Krishna says, Krishna is Anadi. He is not only the beginning of everything, is also before beginning he was existing. Right? There's a nice statement in the Bhagavata, Chatushloki Bhagavata, which Krishna instructed Brahma. The complete Bhagavatam is, in essence, 4 verses. We'll see in this chapter also. When very soon we'll see in this chapter. Krishna is going to speak Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. The complete essence of Bhagavad Gita is in this 4 verses. So likewise, the complete essence of Bhagavata is in 4 verses. Called first verse says, before the creation, I was during the creation, I am also after the. Krishna is the only personality who is there before, during and after. Right? Whereas in our case, we're all part of the. We didn't know what happened yesterday, we didn't know what happened previously. Right? Like that, in our case, we are all having limitations. Whereas Krishna's position is, Krishna is before the creation. He was there and he created, and even annihilation, he is there, and after annihilation also exists. In our case, in 8th chapter, 9th chapter, when annihilation happens, we go and merge in the body of Vishnu. We rest in the body of Vishnu until the next creation happens. Right? So, basically, Krishna wants to tell us that he is the personality always existing, Anadi. And all the devatas and all the other personality, all the different living entities are created after him. So he is different from all the other personalities. Even great devatas like Brahma, Shiva, all of them are created by Krishna. So he is that personality who is Anadi and Sarva Loka or Veti Loka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme lord of all worlds, all devatas. Similar statement Krishna has made in the 5th chapter. Bhoktaram Yagnasapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. The same things Krishna is repeating. So Krishna's existence is Anadi, is beginningless. Just like people have an understanding, okay, I was born this time, so then my father was born this way, my grandfather. People have an understanding of beginning and an end. This material conception. With Krishna and spiritual existence, it is beginningless. That's why it's called Sanatana. Sanatana means there is no beginning, it is endless, it existing eternally. That's the point. So in that way, Krishna's existence is eternal. He is different from all that is created. He is transcendental. And anybody knowing about these 3 aspects of Krishna, that he is unborn, he is beginningless, and he is the master of, or he is the lord of all the worlds. He is liberated, or he is free from all sins. Free from all sins means the sin is what is binding us in the material world. It is very inauspicious for us. So Krishna says towards the end of the Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhya. All the sins will be eradicated from our existence when you surrender to him. Surrendering means knowing all these aspects about Krishna, that he is the origin of all devatas, he is the origin of all rishis, all the great personalities. Right? Revata Rishi's position is much higher than any personality in this world. At least our understanding in our material world. And Krishna further says his position is transcendental. He is Aja, he is Anadi, he is Sarvaloka Maheshwara. Right? So, understanding Krishna's position like this is going to also make you transcendental. And all this can be understood how? Only when you come to the platform of devotional service. Again and again, Prabhupada is explaining. Because otherwise, you will be mudha. Sammudha. Sammudha means having a lot of illusory thinking or doubts. Asammudha means no, lot of clarity, without doubt, without any illusory understanding. Asammudha martyeshu. Because in the material world, all of us are subject to martya, death. But you will become free from doubt when you come to this proper understanding of Krishna. So, basically, Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is transcendental personality. So, all these various explanations in Bhagavad Gita is trying to make us convince again and again. Krishna's position is transcendental, divya. Janma karma chame divyam. Right? He is not born like ordinary human being. Prabhupada explains in the purport how. When Krishna was born, he was not born like us. See, we are all born without our understanding. How we are born, where we are born, we don't know. Krishna appeared in front of Devaki and Vasudeva in his full opulence as Narayana, 400 form. And both Devaki and Vasudeva became very afraid. Oh, if you are in this form, Kamsa will come and kill you. Out of parental affection. Krishna transformed himself as an ordinary baby. So no ordinary baby can transform itself to like this into a, say, like, it can show his Narayana form and then become a baby. No, we've not heard of any such examples. This is how Krishna is. This is how Krishna's Leelas are. It's all Divya. So, Krishna's activities, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's paraphernalia, all are Divya. That's why Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. Evam yo veti tatvataha. So anything about Krishna is all Divya, transcendental. It cannot be material. No, nothing. Material means, as Krishna explained in 9th chapter, what did he say? Material means it is inauspicious. Very beginning of 9th chapter, Krishna explained this, right? Moksha se ashubhat. Understanding Krishna means it is transcendental. It is Shubha. So how do you know that Krishna's activities are like this? How do we understand? Prabhupada explains, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra can explain to us all these things. We have to take their shelter, their help, their guidance, understand about Krishna. Otherwise, you'll not understand. Krishna says, Yo Mam, and one who knows me, how will you know? Through the sources of authorities, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. This is what Krishna is trying to explain us. So very interesting and very wonderful understanding Krishna is giving, that he is going to give us much more confidential knowledge of what he has spoken so far. Because Arjuna is very dear devotee of Krishna. He's trying to give you more knowledge so that he can become more fixed up in devotion. The first point he says is, I am the origin of Devatas and the Maharshis also. Great sages, great personalities. And then I am the origin of all of them. They don't know me. And once you know 3 things about me, that I am unborn, Aja, I am beginningless, Anadi, and I am the Lord of all the worlds, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, then you will be free from doubt and you will be free from all sins, free from all illusion. And you can know Krishna like this only by the mercy of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Next, Krishna is going to explain about the various different qualities in the material world, good and bad both. And he says, all of them are coming from me. This chapter is basically going to tell us, anything in the material world you see, origin is Krishna. Source is Krishna. Nothing is existing independent. in the 4 slokas, Chatushloki Bhagavata, which Krishna says Brahma, one of the statements he says, anything you think it is beyond my existence is Maya. Everything is from me, Krishna says. That is actual knowledge. So like this, very wonderful understanding about himself, Krishna is giving in this chapter. It's very wonderful, interesting things which we have to carefully understand and move forward. Okay, so you go through this next few verses before we discuss in the next session, because a lot of explanation is given on every aspect. Krishna lists up qualities, various aspects in our human existence. Just like pleasure, pain, doubt, delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, calmness, all these things, fame, infamy, which always we talk about. Krishna says everything is coming from me. I am the origin. Without being in him, it cannot exist also. Anything you're thinking with is without his under existence, then that is Maya, Krishna says. Right? So like that, Krishna explains further things, and Krishna is going to speak Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Very important. This chapter is having the 4 slokas, the essence of the whole Gita. Verses 8 to 11. 8, 9, 10, 11 is going to speak about that. We will come to that in the next sessions. I'll conclude here and close also. I'll take questions next time because I have some, urgent engagement. Okay, so thank you, everybody. We'll meet all of you next week again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.